5 seconds. Start. Now that the mammoth is extinct, the elephant is the largest of all animals living and the strongest. It is a strange looking animal with its thick legs, huge sides and back, large hanging ears, small tail, little eyes, long white tusks, and above all, its long nose called the trunk. The trunk is the elephant's peculiar feature and it puts it to various uses. It draws up water by its trunk and can squirt it all over its body like a shower bath, and with it, it picks leaves from the trees and puts them into its mouth. In fact, its trunk serves the elephant as a long arm and hand. Elephants look very clumsy and heavy, and yet they can move very quickly when they like. Elephants are found in India and in Africa. The African elephant differs in some points from the Indian, being larger with longer tusks and bigger ears. In fact, the two are considered to be different species. In both countries, they live in herds in the jungles and are naturally shy animals that keep away from men. Elephants, with their great size and strength, are fine advertisement for vegetarianism, for they live entirely on leaves of trees, grass, roots, and bulbs. The elephant is a very intelligent animal, and its intelligence combined with its great strength makes it, when tamed, a very useful servant to man, and it has been trained to serve in various ways. Elephants can carry heavy loads, about 1,000 seers each, and they are used to draw heavy wagons and big guns that would require many horses. They are very skillful too in piling timber. The trained elephant will kneel down, lift a heavy log of wood with its tusks, carry it to the place where it is wanted, and lay it exactly in position. Elephants are also trained for tiger hunting. The huntsmen sit in the havra on the back of the elephant, which is driven and guided by the driver called the mahout, who squats on its neck. In this way, the hunters are carried through the thickest, and at such a height they can see and fire at the tiger when it is driven out. In old days, elephants were used in battle, and all Indian Rajas had their regiments of trained fighting elephants, and they still have their place in state processions when they are painted with bright colors and covered with silk and velvet clothes. In Africa, elephants are hunted mainly for their tusks, which are made of ivory and are very valuable. Their skins are so thick that an ordinary bullet will not pierce them, and so large guns called elephant guns are used to kill the animals. Many elephants are caught alive to be tamed and trained, but catching elephants alive is difficult and dangerous work, for though the elephant is a shy, wild animal, when left alone, it can be a dangerous enemy when attacked. Elephants are generally caught alive in great traps or enclosures called kedas. They are either driven into these kedas or led into them by tame elephants called decoys, which are trained to lead wild brother into captivity. One major problem that faces the world today is the rapid growth of population, often referred to as population explosion. Until about 800 AD, the world's population stayed below 200 million. Since then, it has risen dramatically. The rise has been greatest in the 20th century. The population has recently risen to about 6 billion. It is 3 times as large as it was in 1960. It is not so much the actual population as its rate of increase that is alarming. Experts predict that by 2020, there will be about 10 billion people, causing serious problems of hunger, overcrowding, and environmental pollution. This enormous increase of population is due to better food, better hygiene, and above all, the advances made in medicine. Rapid developments in modern medicine have conquered many diseases, and consequently, the death rate has decreased. Until the beginning of the 19th century, most people died before the age of 50. Today, in developed countries, the average lifespan has risen to more than 70 years. The population goes on increasing at an alarming rate in spite of the practice of birth control in many parts of the world. Thomas Malthus, a British mathematician and economist, went to the extent of declaring that if unchecked, human population would grow in geometric progression while food production could only grow in arithmetic progression. He was, of course, very pessimistic. With a population of over 1 billion, India is the second most populous country in the world. China is the first. India's population has risen drastically since 1950. The population today is 2.5 times as large as it was in 1950. It is rising by 2.9% per year, and in consequence, every year an extra 26 million people have to be provided for. The government is taking measures to check the population growth, and a large percentage of people practice birth control. Recent advances in farming have made the country productive enough to feed the present population. Failure to arrest further increase of population may have disastrous effects. Though there seems to be some truth in the statement made by Julian Simon of the University of Maryland. According to him, although population growth means there will be more mouths to feed, there will be more hands to work and more brains to think. Stop.